well.
So I could just like get off of this and go share it.
You should be able to share it. How do you share it, Angie?
Cause it's on.
If you go on Facebook, we're live right now. Yeah. Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTube. So yeah, if you go on your Facebook page, do you follow Angie and Renee?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm on the web browser, so that's what I'm saying. I have to like probably have to get off and share it. I don't know.
Oh.
I might. Let me see. Can we share it to your page? I follow you from my personal page. Hey, people.
Hold on, I'm about to go share it real fast. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, I still can hear y'all.
Okay. What is this? Okay. All right. Hey, Miss Charmaine.
Hello.
Yes. So we trying to get it together, y'all.
We are.
Okay.
We are.
Yeah.
We are, and we have some amazing guests tonight, Angie.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I just sent this to his inbox, so let's see if he can share it that way.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Charmaine. Okay, you just shared it. I just received a notification that you shared it. So we're good. We're good. All right. Angie, you want to introduce our guest? Or you want me to do it? No. Our guest, first of all, let me say that a video that you posted had me, Angie and I crying. Just because we can tell that it was from the heart, and we can tell that you have a passion for foster care kids and also for the system. So introduce yourself.
My name is Davon Woods. Originally from Sumter, South Carolina. I stay in Georgia, Statesboro, Georgia now. 26 years old. Advocate for kids in the foster care.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a twin brother as well too, but he couldn't make the live, so I had to do it by myself.
That's okay. That's all right. We got you.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We'll fill in for your brother.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna try to show the video, Angie. How do I share the video?
Oh my goodness. If we go to share.
Okay.
And then video file.
Oh, I have it pulled up. I don't have it saved. We might not be able to share the video. Okay. Yeah, I don't have the video saved. Okay.
Keep talking.
Okay. Tell us your story. Like, how did you get into the foster care system?
Well, our biological mom, she was doing drugs while she was pregnant with us, and she never visited the hospital, so she didn't even know she was having twins. And when she finally went to the hospital, she was going into labor, and I came out first. And they was about to close her up, and then they discovered another baby, which was Tavon. He was stuck in my mom's rib cage, so they had to do an emergency C-section. And when we got out, they took us out. They said that we were so small. We was like 2 pounds. And that's why I got this, because they had to put a trach in my throat for breathing purposes, because, we tested positive for crack. So we was considered crack babies. So they took us right out the hospital. My dad was trying to get us, but at the time my mom was telling my dad that my cousin was going to get us, but everything ended up not falling through. So that's when we ended up getting so far in the system. They didn't even know where we was at. They didn't have any information, because, once you get in the system, they, you sign your rights away. You don't get no information about where your kids are. So we got placed into the system. We got adopted by a family at the age of 2. And once everybody hear like, oh, you got adopted, they be like, well, congratulations. But adoption in my eyes is kind of like a trap, because like once you get adopted, no more caseworkers are involved. Nobody's coming to check in. Nobody. Versus when you're in foster care, you got caseworkers coming in. You can call your caseworker. But by me and my brother being born into the system, we didn't know anything about caseworkers, or knowing that we could have called anybody or anything like that. You know, in fact, we didn't even know anything about the system that we was in for all these years. So it's just like, you know, a lot of people think once you get adopted, like, you know, you made it, you know, but, you know, when we grew up, the way we grew up, man, we never heard "I love you," you know, never was shown any affection. You know, it was always fussing, always getting yelled at, physical abuse, uh, uh, verbal abuse. It was just very hard growing up, not having that support. And it was just like we felt like we was just a check. You know, we felt like they were just doing it for the money. And you know, so me and my brother, we had so many questions that we wanted to ask, but it was left unanswered because our parents never gave us any information about ourselves, about why we was placed into the system. You know, they changed our biological names once we got adopted as well. But it was just growing up, just not knowing, like, you know, who my mom was, who my dad was, who myself was. You know, it's just very difficult. So me and Tavon, we started smoking and drinking like around the age of 11, just to try to fill those voids that we had in our life. And you know, it was hurtful to see all our friends and classmates. You know, when we have stuff at the school, their parents come and being so supportive. You know, they having an amazing time with their family. But us, on the other hand, you know, we coming to school acting like everything is all good, but deep down in the inside, we're hurting and we're torn. You know, but we don't really know how to express those feelings to anybody, or we don't know who to go to because we were so afraid of our parents. Um, so it was just so, you know, just so hurtful just to see that, you know, we had to go through all of that stuff and then go to school and put on the front, you know. So man, for so many years, nobody knew what was going on at our house. Everybody looked at our house like it was a perfect house because our adopted parents couldn't have kids, so it was just basically like a big group home. You know, they got sets of kids that was in foster care, but it was all like siblings. You know, so it was like many different sets that came through that one house. um, but it was just like, man, we missed out on so much. You know, love to us was foreign. I'm 26 years old now. I didn't find out what love was until I was about 22. You know, until I started, until I moved to Georgia, started going to church, and you know, God touched my life and changed our life around. You know, so can you imagine? You know, not hearing, you know, not knowing what love was for that amount of years, just because, you know, it was people that would try to come in my life, but the way that I grew up, not hearing love and not showing that love as a man, you know, I would kind of like brush everybody off and didn't know how to receive those that really, you know, was genuinely coming in my life to love me. But it was just so hard to love when you had all of those things that you've been through in the past. But yeah, man, me and my brother went 17 years not knowing anything, not knowing where we was from. And the crazy part about it, the whole time we only lived like 45 minutes away from where our biological family is. You know, we always, the city that we're from, we always went there because the town we grew up in, South Carolina, you know, it didn't have any malls or anything. So we would always go to Sumter to go to the mall to do different like skating. We would always be in Sumter. And we was doing that for like 17 years. So it's like just to see like how God do everything. Like, you know, God took us away from our family, but He do everything for a reason. So that's a little bit about you know, our story.
Wow. Um I'm speechless though. But in your, you know, telling your testimony and sharing, it goes with the scripture, like all things work together for our good. I know going through that now, you know how to love, and we can tell by the videos and stuff that you post that you give love now because you know what it's like not to have love. Um, so how did and the initiative, you know, foster kids matter? How did that come about?
Um, I don't even know. We were just, you know, I would always say in my videos like foster kids matter. And the reason why we stuck with that name because we just want the world to know, like, you know, these kids matter. Oftentimes, you know, even if you got adopted, because of course foster care and being adopted is it's two different things, but it's still under the same umbrella. You know, no matter if you get adopted or no matter, you know, in foster care, you still a part of the system. But oftentimes a lot of people look at these kids and they look at their case file and they judge them based off of all of the stuff that they've been through. And actually, in all reality, it's so bad. Like a lot of kids that been through the system, it's so hard for them to get jobs because they've been in the system, so they know that they kind of deal with inconsistency, and a lot of stuff. So it's a lot of people that struggle with opportunities now just because of the stuff that they've been through. So the reason why uh, that we chose foster kids matter because we just want people to know that these kids matter because these kids feel as though like nobody love them, nobody care about them, and which it kind of seems that way because it's like in foster care, it's like you going to New York, the Times Square with all those people, and you just stand in the middle of everybody. And it's like everybody just walking past you. You got all them people. So that's how kids in the system feel like, man, like all these people around me, they walking by me and nobody is stopping to ask, hey, are you okay? What's going on? Can I talk to you? I see that, those emotions on your face, like you're going through. It's like you're in the middle of New York and nobody is stopping you. Millions and millions of people are passing by you and nobody is stopping you. So that's why we stuck with foster kids, man.
I was trying to find the unmute button, but that is like really surprising to me that and it's we can go on and on about what's fair and what's not. I think that it's ridiculous, the whole system period. But I had no idea that as far when you were saying that it's hard for them to find jobs. I would have never thought of that. And I
Right.
think that that's so biased and that's so hard because you've already felt like your entire life you've been rejected, and then not all foster homes are nice, you know. And then again, rejected by, trying to get a job. I just,
Yeah, it just basically like like how people they end up doing something and end up getting like a felony or something like that. Foster care is nothing but like a big prison in a sense for like kids. But the thing is with the foster care, it's like these kids didn't do anything to place themselves into this so-called prison. But it's like they treat them like prisoners. uh, they feed them like prisoners. They dress them like prisoners. So now these kids got this mentality like I'm a prisoner. So it's hard for them once they get out of foster care. It's just like jail. They get out, and then once they get out, they on their own. They back to the world, to the free world. Guess what they doing? They doing things to get them placed right back into this prison system because that's what they're so used to being institutionalized. So a lot of these kids they age out of foster care to get out in the free world. They end up doing all type of stuff, but the people don't understand. They don't take the time to look at like, okay, this child been in foster care. This child been through this. They've been through that. They didn't grow up with their parents and stuff like that. So they're not trying to figure out like the solution or the problem to why these kids keep getting locked up, why these kids could continue to become homeless. But instead, what they do is they lock up these kids that have so much potential. And I seen a lot of times they lock them up and put them in jail for different reasons, lock them up for years. And now these kids that was once happy, once was, had the motivation to rule the world. Now that child is locked up, and now they just think that they're nothing. So,
so what does your organization do for them? I mean, I know
um,
we saw like one video with that had us in tears. Um, so tell us, like, what does your organization do, and like at what age do you all start working with them?
well, our organization, we really do whatever. And just like I said, we still at the beginning of everything. But right now, of course, what we're just focusing on now is of course, doing our walks and raising awareness because, I feel as though like if you're not really doing nothing like what we're doing, like with the walks, like going state to state, doing groundwork, I just feel as though if you're not doing that, you're not really doing anything because, now by us doing these walks, and just taking time to go to different states and making a statement, it's like now people are more so willing to support everything that we're trying to do in the future. So we kind of put everything on hold for right now. Like, of course, helping kids and being able to help. Not saying that we're not gonna do that, but we trying to like put a little bit of stuff on hold so that we can continue to do some groundwork, continue to get our name out there so people can be like, okay, like I want to support what the twins are doing. I want to support their mission, their goal. So when we open up our transitional housing for kids aging out of foster care, people like, man, I've been following these young men. They're only they're only 26 years old and doing amazing things. So it's like we came up with that strategy so people can trust us and so that people can be willing when it's time for us to like need like big donations, like stuff like that. People will be like, okay, like I'm gonna donate. If I don't donate to nobody else, I'm gonna donate to Davon and Tavon because they're doing some amazing things. So of course we started off like, helping kids, which we will still be doing that as well. But it's like, we want to be able to just continue to do this work and continue to do these walks and continue to do some groundwork so that people could continue to have eyes on what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I recently, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, you all visited a camp or was it a foster home where the kids did not want you all to leave.
Oh yeah, we went to well, last week we was in Ohio from Monday to Wednesday. We went up there for a camp. I just found out about that camp like a couple of days before we went. But the lady reached out to me and she was like, "Man, we doing a camp in Ohio and Zanesville." She was like, "It's gonna be like 100+ kids," and I'm like, "Man, like." She was like ages 5 to 18. I was like, "Yeah, man, like let's go ahead and set it up." So we went ahead and booked the flights, and it was so amazing. It was definitely life changing. We was more so like special guests because that was our first time going there, and they had us to talk to the kids. They had us do a video for the foster parents because initially when we got there that morning, we were supposed to talk to the foster parents, but they ended up canceling our flight and ended up putting us on another flight, so we couldn't make it. So we ended up just doing a video. But it was life changing. One of the young ladies reached out to me the other day, and she was just basically telling me like, "Man, like thank you guys for coming. What you guys were saying it stuck to me." And she was just basically saying like, like what we're doing is amazing. This child, she's only 17, about to be 18. But man, just to see when we was about to leave, like those kids, we was only there for about two and a half days, not even fully 3 days. And the connection that we built with those kids, it was just unbelievable. I was shocked. I was like, wow, like, man, like we were just out there just being big kids, playing with them on a water slide in the pool. We slept in the boys' dorm. It was just amazing. And then we had to be to a camp here in Georgia from Thursday to Sunday. So Wednesday we flew back, got back like around 7 something, came to Bible study. And after Bible study, went home, get packed up for the camp the next day. And that camp, this is I believe our third, fourth year. And we got there, man. It was just amazing, life changing as well. We stayed busy, had the kids doing all type of stuff, paintball, rock climbing. It was amazing. Just to have the impact on these kids' life, and also Mr. Chris, which is a good guy that we know here, he actually reached out to me today about attending another camp with the younger kids here in where we stay at in Georgia in a couple of days. So it was most definitely life changing. It felt like, I know all of that stuff happened last week, but I'm like, dang, like it felt like I'm like, dang, I just was in Ohio last week, but it don't really feel like it, like because we were so busy. And then Sunday, the camp ended on Sunday. Be mindful that Monday morning, that's when we started our walk in South Carolina. So we left the camp, came to church. After first service, we ended up getting on the road, going to South Carolina, rested up for Monday morning, ended up knocking out 20 miles on Monday. Took us about 6-7 hours. Ended up getting finished, rested up, and came back Tuesday. So, and then now we back here in Georgia. So yeah.
I'm tired. Okay. I'm tired. But I think that is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you, one of the greatest things that has ever been said is that people may not remember what you said to them, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
Yes.
And you saying, the kid, you being there with the kids, and they mattered. You know what I'm saying? You all brought that love to them and you made them feel like they mattered because they do. And I
Exactly.
think that's just absolutely amazing. Before I forget, I want to know, when are you coming to the DMV? Well, when are you coming to DC or to Maryland?
A lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but a good bit of people have been reaching out to us from like for like the Virginia, those areas. So we most definitely will let you guys know. But just like I said, our goal is to hit every state before the end of the year. So you know, we have to come up there one of these days. But our goal is to start doing at least 2 to 3 states a month. Probably more. Try to hit the ones that's pretty close together to go ahead and knock it out. But yeah, we most definitely let you guys know.
I'm still on mute, steadily talking. I was gonna say, yeah, you gotta let us know. I don't know if I can do the 20 miles.
Oh, you can do it. Me and my brother did Georgia to Florida. That was 90 plus. We didn't thought we could do that, but we did it. So
Right.
trust me,
Well,
it's
I did do 20 miles on a bike. So I might be able to walk it.
yeah. And a bike is way to me. I think a
Right.
bike would be harder
Yeah.
because it's more work that you got to do when you walking. It's just straight leg. I mean, just straight whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
you definitely have to let us know when you want to organize one in Maryland. And like I'm speaking for Angie, but we'll definitely help like get it organized. Because it's just like what you're doing, and um it's making an impact, and like you are reaching lives. You really are reaching and changing lives. Talk to us about Gage. We saw the video about him. Talk to us about how you met him and the video that basically everybody has been talking about.
Gage was one of those kids. Me and my brother worked at a group home here where we stay in Georgia called And My Kids. And man, we made such a huge impact at that group home. Like it got to a point where like they was like the DO, like they just didn't like what we was doing because we was that light that those kids needed. So we was bringing the kids to church. We was carrying the kids' clothes. We was doing everything that we wasn't really supposed to be doing. Like we was bringing the kids food. We was in the kid like because it was an all boys camp. So they called me and Tavon So we look at those kids as our nephews, our little brothers. So we wasn't like supposed to be like in the kids' room. But I'm talking about we in the kids' room just chilling, talking with them, playing basketball with them, like doing everything that no staff was doing, spending time with them, like but it was because we knew what those kids needed. And it was crazy because man, we was contacting the state AMI headquarters, telling them about the living facility. I mean, about how the kids was living at the facility, how they was being treated, and they just like all that stuff got ignored. So they kind of try to put me and Tavon on night shift, which we told them that we couldn't work night shift, but they try to put us on night shift because they was trying to do stuff to get us to quit or give them a reason to fire us. So we ended up going today to work when we were scheduled on night shift, but we thought it was like in the evening. So we ended up going to work, and to make a long story short, we ended up going to work, and we was like, he was like basically telling us like we had to work night shift, and then we was like, man, we're not working night shift, and we was like, okay, how about this? We're gonna work. We're gonna stay here all the way until night shift, and be mindful. We got to work around like 12 the afternoon, and night shift wasn't until late that night. So we just wanted to spend time with the kids. But that particular day, he was like, "Nah, y'all can't be on campus. Y'all gotta leave if y'all not working." We like, when you ever said this? So we ended up not leaving. He was like, "Y'all gotta leave." He was like, "If y'all don't leave, I'm gonna call the police on y'all." And we ended up not leaving. And then we finally left. They suspended us for like a couple of days, and then we had a meeting. And then they told us in the meeting that they couldn't get over the fact that we didn't leave when they told us to. And be mindful, they were just trying to do whatever they can to get rid of us. Um, But they ended up firing us for no apparent reason. And those kids was just, they was hurt. And Gage told me the other day, a couple of weeks when I went to pick them up, he was just like, man, when y'all left, they took away their hope. You know, like they seen that we was uh, cleaving to y'all. They see that we was connecting with y'all, and they took y'all away. And Gage was one of those kids that I met at the group home. I used to read the Bible with him, brought him to church, spent so much time with him. And then the other day, like a couple of weeks ago, you know, he called me, and before he called me too, and he was just basically telling me how he ended up getting on drugs, really, really bad. And you know, he was just telling me his situation about him getting on drugs and how his mom was, you know, just laughing at him, his biological mom just laughing at him, you know, doing all this stuff, and you know, just basically wanting to see the young man fail and be mindful. He's only 19 years old. So he called me. He was just basically like, you know, I don't have nowhere to go. You know, I'm on drugs. I want to do better. You know, I want to get myself cleaned up. You know, and be mindful that day when I think he called me that day before, but it was just like when we got recently got finished with our walk, and then me and Tavon ended up having a interview at the news station in Augusta, Georgia. And Augusta, Georgia, from Statesboro, where we stay, is about an hour. So that particular day, I ended up going to the interview, and then came back to Statesboro. And Gage was staying in Macon, and Macon from Statesboro was a 2 hour drive. So I ended up leaving the news station, come back to Statesboro, get ready. The same day, do a turn and burn, went all the way to Macon, and went to go see the young man. So when y'all see the picture of me hugging him, that's when I just got off from doing that interview. I was tired, but I was like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I just willing to go the extra mile. And I wasn't doing it for like, you know, any publicity or anything like that. But I just feel as though like when you're doing stuff like that and the type of work that I'm doing, I feel as though people need to see that stuff, you know, because I don't want people to be donating to a cause and they don't see what I'm doing. You know, if they see what you're doing, they feel a little bit more comfortable. And a lot of people are like, well, why would you post something like that? Why would you do that? I mean, I was like, you know, people post negative stuff. You know, why not have something positive on your timeline? You know, I'm not out here shooting nobody, killing nobody, cussing nobody. I'm just out here impacting the life of kids that are in a way, way terrible situation. But I ended up getting engaged here. And it was just, man, just it hurt me, man, because I seen Gage when he was like, you know, about 14, 15. You know, he's 19 now. So I seen him when he was, you know, he was thriving, like, you know, happy, excited. You know, I seen him at his lows and his downs, you know, just hearing stuff about his life. And just to see him now, I was just like, man, it kind of broke my heart, man. Because when he, you know, when I picked him up, he was still on the drugs. So it's like he wasn't in his right mind. And it just made me feel some type of way because I'm like, dang, man, I seen this kid when he was not even he was against drugs, you know. But I ended up getting him here, getting him to a hotel so he could just relax for a couple of days. Had him here. He was actually here in Statesboro for like a week because I went to pick him up that Monday. Um, but ended up having everything set up. Was gonna end up taking him to where we were supposed to be going. Dang, somewhere out of state. I don't forgot, but it was gonna, it was gonna end up taking him out of state. Got connected with this lady. She was willing to take him in. Was gonna get him into rehab, everything like that. He was okay with it. He was like, yeah, I just want to change. I ended up bringing him to church that Wednesday for Bible study. And then basically saying, yeah, I want to change. I want to get clean. I want to do better. But ended up, I guess, he ended up which I understood that he was probably scared, probably afraid, but he ended up going back and stay with his sister. So I felt I was kind of hurt because I was like, man, I really wanted that for him to, see him be able to get clean and be able to get into a different environment because I'm a strong believer. Like a lot of people fail and a lot of people stay in that hole because of their environment. And oftentimes it's best to just move, even if you don't know nobody. It's just best to get into a new environment, get around people that you know. But I was trying to convince him, like, man, I think you should do it. He's like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And the next time he be like, I'm not gonna do it. But he ended up going back to stay with his sister. Um, and it was just I was just like, man, like dang, like. But I had to realize like I did my part. I can't. Although I would love to save everybody in this world, you know, but I have to understand, like, I mean, he's a grown man now. He's 19 years old, about to be 20. So I planted the seed. So he'll always remember, like, okay, they did this for me, they did that, they told me this, they told me that. So all I could do is just keep my head up and be like, Davon, like you did your part, like you planted seeds, you planted seeds, but it's up to that person to be able to allow those seeds to grow in their life. So no matter what you say, no matter what you do, it's up to that person. So I just, I still try to just text them and, check in on them. But yeah, that's pretty much the story.
It is important to let them know that connections matter.
That's definitely.
Um, yeah, I definitely agree. And I mean, you did your part. Like you said, you planted the seed. You took them to church. You gave them the word. And that's the most important piece. And I love that's what I love most about you and your brother. Like you realize that you would not be here without God. Because the main reason I know that, because you did what you wanted to do, but you said we had Bible study. After Bible study, we rested. You did the walk, you came back. After that, what did you do? Back to church. So you're doing everything. You're laying the foundation, not only for yourself, but for other people. And even for Gage, like you took him to church, you gave him the word, you helped them in the natural. And who knows? He'll never forget what you did for him. And I'm praying, just like I know you're praying, that he'll come back to you and say, I'm ready now to, get myself together.
Most
Um,
definitely.
yeah. Man, I tell you, your story is just like, it's life changing. It is. It is. Have y'all thought about writing a book?
Yeah, we did. We actually got connected with this lady in Jacksonville. She was supposed to be helping us. I haven't heard anything back from her yet, but yeah, we still, I don't know. But yeah, a book and a film, documentary or actual film. So, hopefully we'll be looking to hopefully drop that book by the end of the year.
Yeah, you can definitely connect with Angie. Angie and I both we wrote books, published them and everything. And Angie can definitely help with like editing, setting it up, getting it set on Amazon. She's like, talk to her. She can help you do it, set up, format, edit.
All right, Miss Angie. Now I'm a type of person like when I'm trying to get something done, I try. Some people call me hard head, but I just like to get stuff done. Because my whole life I've been prolonging a lot of stuff and saying I'm gonna do stuff. So now at this point in my life, I'm just trying to just make the biggest impact. So I'm ready to go. Like so.
Oh, I'm ready too. Oh, I'm ready too.
All
Yes.
So
right.
don't listen. I get your number. I'm gonna be on you. I'm gonna be like, you said you wanted to do this. So
I
let
see.
me
Yeah, that's what I like. I like a person that's gonna stay on my head. So I don't mind it
That's
at all.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Because see, I this is how I feel. I feel like, everything that it is that, that we've gone through, right? It wasn't just for us. It was for us to be able to help other people to
Others,
get
yeah.
through it. We had to think about, look what Moses went through, look what Joseph went through, and look at the impact that still continues to live today to be able to help others get to the other side. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, so and that's what I'm all about. The crap that we dealt with, the crap that you dealt with, it's time we're gonna get that out there, and we're gonna save these babies. We're gonna
Yes,
save these young men, these young kings and these young queens, because that's who they are, right? They matter.
they
They
do.
matter. And so they have advocates for them. And now they got brothers and uncles, and they got aunties right here.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
don't play when it comes to the kids, because Renee and I, we used to work at a group home and an independent living program as well. And that was the same thing for us. We took them to church. We invited them for family events. They were family. And we didn't treat them any different. And a lot of them, they called me Mama Angie, because they Mama Angie would get on you. I'm gonna hold you accountable. So
Yes,
do what's
ma'am.
right, because I see the potential in you. I don't care. I don't care you in a gang. That don't scare me. I see you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care what happened before. So I absolutely love it. And oh man, I'm so excited. Give me a little bit more. And then just give me a little bit more, like, what does this transitional house look like? Because this is like, I'm excited about that. Like, what is the, you don't have to give it all to us. Just give us a little bit of the vision, what this transitional housing looks like.
Well, of course, the percentage of kids that age out of foster care, I don't know the actual percent, so I normally just say the percent is pretty high. But the percent for kids that become homeless or incarcerated after they hit the age of 18 is very high. So of course, our goal is to knock that number down. To be able to hear more success stories about kids when they age out of foster care, to give these kids a stable living, resources, opportunities, and so much more. So that's why we want to go. We want to do the transitional housing. And of course, me and one of my boys went to look at some buildings yesterday, and I was just so excited just talking to the lady um, about the little tiny, might as well say tiny houses, but they're more so affordable, and you can do so much more with them versus like actually trying to build like an actual house. Because at the end of the day, we want to be able to do more. Man, we got a good bit of we got a good solid plan. We just continue to work on it and just praying that God continue to send us the resources that we need and the people that can actually help us. But our biggest goal is to build like one of the largest facilities in the world for kids that are currently in foster care. So that's going to be one of our biggest projects, because it's over 400,000 kids in the foster care system as we speak, and we're not going to have it like it's not going to be like a group home feeling. It's not going to be nothing like that, because a lot of people here, they be like, I plan on building the largest facility. I'm like, yeah, the Bible talks about faith without works is dead. So it's not like I don't
Come
serve
on now.
I don't serve a small God, so there's no need for me to go small for these kids. So it's gonna be real, real big. These kids gonna feel like they're at home. These kids are gonna have loving people because we're gonna have top notch people. Like not everybody's gonna work at our facility. World to give these kids the love they need, the tools, the resources, the opportunities. Man, we got a lot of stuff in plan, and of course, like Rebecca 2 and 2, it says write the vision and make it plain. So of course we got it written down, typed up, and we just waiting to see what the direction God gonna lead us in. So
I am here for it. I love
Yes,
it.
yes, yes. We have your website up. If people donate on your website,
yes.
okay. Please, y'all go donate. You have t-shirts out right now. I know you had a goal to sell 300 by July, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So go purchase a t-shirt, y'all.
Yeah, it's been doing pretty well. Just like I said, we haven't really been pushing it how we should because, of course, we've been so busy. But nevertheless, people still been purchasing T-shirts. It's been amazing. People been donating, and of course, the donations right now is just to help us get to these walls because these flights ain't cheap. These flights, and we have to get so much stuff for our feet. Doing these walks is it's a lot of stuff. Recovery, got to a lot of therapy into it because of course if we trying to hit every state by the end of the year, we got to make sure we doing all the right things when it comes to our physical as well. So the donations will be used to be able to help us travel, to help us get stuff that we need. So that's why we kind of putting everything else on hold right now, so that we can just focus on these walks and focus on just raising awareness.
You're on mute. You talking on mute.
No, because I there's a lot of background noise going on. Miss Charmaine was saying share your Amazon wish list. Is that on your
Yeah, we got
website as
the
well?
Amazon wish. Yes, we just did the Amazon wish list today.
It's on the website.
Yes,
Oh, okay. I have to go look at that. Go look at that. I have to go look at that. Go to the
but if
website,
not,
y'all. Check out the Amazon wish list.
if it's not on the website, it's definitely on the page. I did a post earlier, so it's on my Facebook page.
Um,
So we got to follow them on Facebook. You on Instagram?
yep.
Instagram, every
Facebook, Instagram, website, all the things. Follow 'em and donate and buy a T-shirt and send a picture.
yep. Support a cause that's worth supporting. Um, that's what I like to tell people. Like, oftentimes a lot of people support so many other different things, and so many other different causes, and share so many other different posts and stuff that don't really, to me, don't be making a lot of sense. But I'll be trying to encourage people, like, we doing something very positive. It's kind of hard not to support what we're doing. And if somebody don't support what we're doing, it's just like, man, like, what are you really doing? Like, we out here trying to, fight for a change for these kids and do the right things, and just bring awareness. So it's like, that's why I try to what up, try to get people to, see the importance of what we're trying to do. So
We posted the Amazon wish list. We posted that on here. Yes, it's on our in the feed. If anybody wants to donate to the Amazon wish list, purchase something. Also, the website is up there as well.
yep. And also, guys, if you guys would like to learn more about me and Tavon, y'all can easily, like, I looked at Google this morning, I kid you not, like the news article, the news that we did the other day after our walk, which was Tuesday, Monday. Um, man, I went on Google this morning, and our stories is just about on every news station. I'm like, wow, like I'm just scrolling. Like I'm just scrolling, like, you feel me, like just scrolling, you just see so many different, because like the news stations they could get the article from their sister networks and just share them on theirs. But I'm like, wow, like it's so many different articles. I'm like, dang, this is freaking crazy. So if you guys would like to learn anything about me and Tavon, all you gotta do is just search us on Google. It's I'm shocked. I'm like, dang, like yeah, but it's amazing, man. Just God, just because God, it was prophesied over our life that we was gonna, and just like me and Tavon, I shared that video last night. And, that was like when we first got into the church. Because prior to now, me and Tavon wasn't in the church. We was in the streets, selling drugs, and I didn't even tell that part about my story. But our story is so long and it's so amazing. But we was in the streets, and on that video that I posted last night, that was like when we was fresh into the church, and I was just basically saying, like, right now we're on the stool, and eventually we're gonna get to a mountain, and just basically talking about how we're gonna be traveling around the world, and that was like five years ago, and just to see like how everything is happening now, I'm just like, wow, like this was prophesied over our life, and it's just amazing because a lot of people never thought I never thought that I'd be doing what I'm doing now, so it's definitely a blessing.
Amen. Amen. That's right. It doesn't matter what has happened in the past. God can use you, and He is using you and your brother. And I think it is important for you all to be able to share that part of your story as well, because people feel like, oh, okay, you've been in foster care, you were born addicted to crack, you've been through you've been in the streets, but look where you at now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And people would probably be like, y'all? Not y'all.
Yeah, that's
So,
why I tell people all the time. They look at me now, and I'll be like, man, if y'all would have catch me a couple of years ago, I was like, man, I had the dreads in my hair, pants sagging, like I'm cussing like 24/7, had a blunt in my mouth every time, just about every time you see me, like it was always high. And just like, man, just to see like me and Tavon now, it's just like, man, I'm like, man, like it's nobody but God. That's why I try to tell people now, like, I'm like, if me and Tavon in the church, like this gotta be it. Like, God, like, because prior to this, we never was going to church. Like, of course, we grew up going to church, but we knew it wasn't right because it was just people living double lives. So it's just like I identified that at a young age, like, man, like this can't be it. Like you can't be living like hell and expect to make it to heaven. Like it don't work like that. So man, like it just amazing. And I see it in myself. I'm just like, man, like just to see how I am now, how I carry myself, and just the manner I am today, man. I'm just proud of myself.
Well, I'm proud of you too. I'm
Thank you.
proud of you too. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I am too. To see young men standing on the word of God and godly principles, like we need that right now. And
Mm-hmm.
my prayer is that God's favor will continue to open doors for y'all because, like I said, you're putting Him first. And if the Bible says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added to you," and
Yeah.
that's what y'all are doing. And God is showing you, like, I was with you then, but now I'm really going to put you on display and show forth my glory because you're
Amen.
still magnifying God on every platform and everything
Mm-hmm.
that you do. I mean,
Yeah.
oh man, I can't wait. Y'all have to come to Maryland. Y'all have to
You
come to
have
Maryland,
to.
or we gonna come to Georgia. So
If
one or
gas
the
does
other.
travel.
Yes, one or the other. We have to physically meet up, and please, like, inbox me, Angie, and because your email address, phone number, that book, like I said, Angie is the link right there.
Yeah, I'm
Been
trying,
there,
Miss
done.
Angie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm trying to, just like I told you before, I like to get stuff rolling. This is something that we've been putting off for a while, so I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. Like,
All right. Well, I'm gonna hold you to it.
but see, I'm more so like an in person type of person. I don't really like doing stuff over the phone. I don't know. I don't know. I just like doing stuff like in person. That's just how I am. That's how I learned to. I'm a more so like you got to show me, like, So like
Yeah.
I'm most definitely send y'all my number so I can make my way up to Maryland because I really want to go ahead and start working on this book for real.
Yes, and we can come to
Okay.
Georgia. We can
Yeah.
do both. We can definitely do
Yeah.
both.
Meet in the middle, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Ah,
so we would like for you. Oh, well, go ahead, Renee.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, Mr. Mr. Woods, can you? Are you frozen? Can you hear us? I think he's frozen. Uh oh. Oh, you're back. Okay. Are you there?
Yes,
Okay. So what we would like
I
for
can
you to
hear
do,
y'all.
okay. Can you leave a oh, maybe not.
I can hear y'all.
Okay. Well, can you leave an encouraging word for our family here? Um just an encouraging word. It could be about foster care, it could not be about foster care, but just an encouraging word.
People look at going through as a bad thing. They look at, like, hard times as, what I like to allow people to understand, like, you gotta look at a seed. Um, when a seed is planted in the ground, you can't just throw a seed in the middle of the road and expect it to grow. And that's the same thing with yourself and with your life. A seed got to go through. It got to get dirt thrown on it. It got to be buried. It's different stuff that got to be added to the seed. And that's the same thing with ourselves. So a lot of people look at when they're going through stuff and when they're going through hard times, like it's always bad. But in all reality, when you're going through all those bad stuff, it's just really turning you into a stronger person. And of course, a seed takes a different. trees and different fruits and different vegetables, it takes different it's different amount of time for it to grow. So just because your tree may not be producing right now, eventually it will be producing. So I just like to encourage people to let them know, like, just because you're going through, just always go back to a seed. A seed got to go through so much stuff, but you got to think about it. When you see that seed before it go on the ground, you don't see the apples, you don't see the oranges, you don't see the peaches, you don't see all of these different things that look good once they already produce. You just see that seed. So that's the same thing with our life. You know, you just got to give it time. You got to allow God to continue to water you. You got to allow God to continue to bring them roots out. You got to allow God to continue to do all type of stuff. So you just got to stay encouraged, because oftentimes on this journey we get discouraged and we want to just throw in the towel. But the good thing about throwing the towel down, you got an opportunity to pick it back up. So just because you may throw your towel down in life, you still got an opportunity to pick that towel up. And the good thing about falling down, when you falling down, you still got an opportunity to get back up as well. So I would just say, just continue to keep the faith in God, and never give up, and never give up on the purpose that God has for you. And that's my favorite word.
Well, all right. You heard what he said. You
Exactly.
heard what my nephew said.
Exactly. Exactly. Before we sign off, where can people find you? What's your Facebook and Instagram name where people can find you?
Facebook is just Davon Woods, and Instagram is Davon Wood. Instagram and TikTok is the same. It's just Davon Woods with FC, and FC is just short for foster care. And it's the same for my brother too. It's Tavon Woods, and his Instagram and TikTok is Tavon Woods FC.
Love it. Y'all make sure to go and follow and like and share and buy t-shirts and donate and get ready for the walk now. Get ready for the walk because it's coming to the DM. We don't claim the V.
Y'all make sure y'all got y'all walking shoes.
Oh, I got my walking shoes. Yes.
We gonna
Love
try to
it.
pack. We gonna try to pack out the DMV like how we about to pack out Ohio. Ohio's about to be crazy.
Wow. Wow. Do I know anybody in Ohio? I don't think so. I don't know. But
Yeah,
all
Ohio.
right.
Yeah, Ohio is probably the state that majority of a lot of our we've been getting a lot of our support from.
Oh
Um,
wow.
it's been amazing. Like, a lot of people from Ohio has been supporting, and I got a lot of getting a lot of connections in Ohio. So that's why it's going to be pretty big. So that's how we trying to get it everywhere we go. Every state. Georgia and South Carolina is big for us too, because of course we're from South Carolina and we stay in Georgia. So, but Ohio is majority of people we never even met a day in our life. But it's just the support has been amazing.
Wow. Uh-oh, Miss Charmaine said, come to Michigan.
Oh, we was in Michigan. We was in
Oh,
Michigan a couple of months ago. But yeah, we got a good bit of supporters in Michigan as well.
Yeah,
what part
Miss.
of Michigan?
We was in Rochester Hills.
Rochester Hills. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Miss Charmaine, she been hanging in here with you the whole time now.
Yes. Yes. So
Yes.
please keep us posted.
Mhm.
Be in touch. I inboxed you our information. Contact us, please. And yeah, contact us. We definitely have to connect. We all
Yeah.
have to
Definitely.
connect. We do.
Yeah.
We do. We do.
Well,
So
all right. Facebook and Insta. No, we're not on Instagram. Well,
no, we're on
Instagram
YouTube.
YouTube.
later. YouTube. We appreciate you hanging out with us this
Yes.
evening. If you're just catching this at the end, press the rewind button and listen to it. And make sure to go and like and follow and share all about Foster Kids Matter because
Yes.
they do.
They do. And donate. Please donate. Check the Amazon link out. We have that on there. Go to the website, donate, follow, like, share, spread the word, and help.
Yes.
Yes, we'll be in touch. Please go in your inbox, Davon, and get our information.
All right, sounds good. Look forward to it.
Okay, and we'll be praying for you all too.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All
Bye
right, y'all have
bye.
a
Good
blessed
night,
day.
everyone.
Good night, y'all.